Hey, Josie, do you mind handing over your husband to me? He's definitely the type of man for me. Huh? I saw him yesterday at our reunion, and I saw that both you and him had come to see all your old classmates. You both came out of that really high-end car, right? Thank you for all the compliments. Right now, my husband is working for a car dealership and is the manager of the place. And he is a huge fan of custom cars, so he'll stay late a lot of the time doing all sorts of mods to his own car. I'll let him know that you think it looks very high-end. I'm not sure what all you mean by mods and things like that, but the car is very cool. It's amazing seeing such a cool and high-end car like that in this part of town where everyone's driving lame trucks all the time. And so, because of that, I'd like to have your husband. I'd really love to have a husband as cool as yours, and I'd love to be his wife. I thought the first time you said that it was just a compliment, but are you actually being serious right now? Saying that you want your friend's husband? You know I'm being serious about that, right? He is the #1 most wanted thing on my list. Seeing him get out of that cool-looking sports car with you really makes me want to tie the knot with him. Please don't say something as ridiculous as that, Nikki. Are you trying to show me that you still haven't gotten any better since the last time? Please hurry up and fix that behavior of yours, always asking for other people's things. It's not that I just want them, but that I physically yearn to have them. And now that I'm so jealous about him, I really can't get him out of my head. Now that I've started to remember everything again, in the past you always wanted things like my clothing and jewelry, right? I'd tell you no, but you'd keep coming back more and more aggressive about it. And in the end, I'd give in to you and just end up handing my things over. However, weeks later, I'd find you taking all the things you asked for from me and selling them online. For some reason, the moment I get a hold of what I want, I start to lose interest in it. I will want something with so much energy, but the moment I have it, I no longer care about it. And that's why you ended up throwing away my ex-boyfriend after taking him from me, right? And a month after learning all of that and no longer talking to you, you come back talking to me like nothing ever happened? And not just from you, but I got message after message from my ex asking for me to get back together with him. To be honest, my years in college really sucked because of you two. Ooh, wow. Are you talking about what happened with you and Seth? Oh, that brings back some good old memories. Thanks for remembering that, Josie. I would never forget about something like that. He was the first boyfriend I had ever had then. Yet you made a huge deal about wanting my boyfriend from me and then stole him in the end. I thought telling you no that time would make you stop, but right when I thought everything was okay, he told me he was going out with you behind my back. Yet after wanting him so badly that you'd go through the effort of stealing him from me, you threw him away a month later. I loved it when you sent me that text a month later saying he was actually more boring of a man than you first thought. That was really funny of you. Well, I was being honest that he was super boring. Back when he was with you, he seemed a lot more fun and handsome. You always seemed to laugh and joke around together, and he seemed so into you. I really thought to myself that if I were able to date him, I'd be just as happy as you. But the moment I started going out with him, things were far from what I expected. He didn't even take me anywhere fun or expensive for dates and was just a complete stick in the sand. Well, then maybe it's time you stop trying to take other people's things expecting them to make you just as happy. Seriously, stop saying such idiotic things as you wanting my husband from me next, okay? Cut the crap and act your age, please. Learn that there is no reason for you to go out of your way asking for other people's things that you want, okay? You should only want the things that you truly want with your heart, and then get that thing with your own strength. Wanting someone else's things just because they love them so much has no meaning to it, and most likely won't make you any happier. I'm telling you that I only aim to get the things that I do want with all my heart. And it seems this time my heart really wants your husband from you. Are you kidding me? It's fine to want something that you think is going to be important to you, right? I've been wanting to get married for some time now, and your husband is important to me for achieving that. So that's why you should give him to me. This is getting nowhere with you, I see. I'm sorry, but can you stop talking to me from now on? If you find that things like what you've done and plan to do are totally ethical, then I don't think you and I can be friends.
Out of all the people you know, do you happen to know a Nikki who is saying they're your friend? For some reason, they have come to my office to see me.
What? There is this old friend of mine from back in college named Nikki, but are you talking about her?
Well, she keeps saying you both were in the same year during college, so I'd assume it's her. She's saying that she's here to buy a car for me, which is totally fine and all, but she thinks that since you're her friend, she could get one for $1,000.
Are you kidding me right now?
Right now, I have one of my employees handling her for me, but it seems she's getting a little troublesome for us here. She keeps yelling at everyone, saying that she's friends with the manager's wife, and that she should be allowed to see me. She's actually making a huge fit about it right now, saying that I need to come out there at once to see her. But I'm out of the office on my break right now. I'm sorry to ask this from you, but can you do something about her?
I'm so sorry, Richard. I do happen to know her, unfortunately, and I hope she's not causing too many issues for you. I feel really bad for whatever employee you asked to handle her.
I have to ask this again, but is she really from the same year as you in college? You were actually friends with someone as childish as her?
She might be an old classmate of mine, but we are no longer friends now, and honestly, never were. A lot of things happened, though, in school, and that made me cut things off with her. But at the most recent reunion we went to, I ran into her again. And even when we met then, she was being a freak about a bunch of things, and so I asked her to never contact me. And, well, now it seems she's brought herself to your place of work.
Is that right?
Well, for the time being, I'll handle all of this, so just leave it up to me. And you can stay out there taking your break while I deal with her, okay? I'll send you a text when things are all good. If I allow her to see you, things will only become worse for everyone, and I really don't want that.
Huh. What do you mean by that?
I believe that she's actually trying to get you more than that $1,000 deal on a car. I bet she'll try to get your number from you or something and use that as a way to start talking to you in private.
Why does she want my number? And why does she want to talk to me in private?
She told me after the class reunion.
Oh?
She said that she's really into you and that she wants me to give you to her. That chick has always had this problem with wanting whatever others have, especially me. And with me, it wasn't just my clothes or my jewelry that she wanted, but my boyfriend as well. Back in college, there were so many times when I had to deal with her.
Really? She's that messed up of a friend from back in college? I guess the both of us ended up having some really crazy friends back in those days.
Huh? The both of us did?
Recently, I had myself that class reunion, right? Well, during that reunion, I got into it with that crazy guy. He kept asking me to lend him my favorite car for a day, so that he could take it out where he wanted to go. And even though I told him no at least 20 times that day, he's been messaging me asking for it still.
Telling someone no, only to have them continue asking more aggressively, is just the worst, right? I guess the two of us will have to do our best to deal with these buffoons, alright? I'm going to get heading over to the dealership now and have a word with her about her behavior, okay? And let me just tell you once more to stay outside and let me handle everything. I don't want you coming back in until I tell you so. You really did a number on me, sending your own friend out of that place like that. I was going to buy a car from your husband for you and everything, yet you did me dirty. It's unbelievable that you'd throw out one of his valued customers like that. You're no customer of his asking that he sell you a car for something as ridiculously low as $1,000. And I know for a fact that you came there that day to get my husband for personal reasons, right? You probably thought you'd get him to come out and talk with you, and then have a chance at getting his number as well, right? I know everything that you want. Huh? How did you figure all of that out? Because you already told me a while back that you wanted him, and when you really do want something, you go all out. When we were in college, you made a huge deal about wanting my pen, and in order to get it from me, you broke the pen you had in your hands. And then cried about how you no longer had a pen that could write for you anymore, and that you needed to borrow a new one. You even told the professor that you just needed a pen for me for that one lecture. And so you took my bag from me and grabbed all my pens except one from in it, and never gave any of them back to me. I did something like that? I don't ever remember that. Even if you have no memory of what crap you were doing, I remember it all so well. Anyway, I don't want you talking to me anymore, please. And as for trying to get into my husband's dealership and making a fuss to see him, don't do it again. He would be more than happy to call the police next time and have you carried out of there for causing public disturbances. Huh? There's no way someone would call the police on one of their friends. You've really changed after getting married to him. The fact that you've become this wild and scary towards someone who's pregnant is really beyond my understanding. Huh? You're pregnant? Right now, there is a very important baby living inside me. And the fact that you'd call the police on a pregnant woman like me is terrifying. So would you please stop it with that? If I gave a pre-birth due to all of that stress you caused me, what would you do? Hold on a second. Nikki, you're pregnant right now? Weren't you drinking loads of alcohol, though, at the class reunion we were all at just a little while back? And after that, I found out that I was pregnant. Of course, my body would choose that kind of timing, right? But who's to say it's bad timing for this, right? Now I'll be able to get what I want without it running away from me. When you say something like that, you're not implying that my husband is the father of that baby, right? Oh, well, that's exactly what I meant. Right now, I'm pregnant with your husband's child. I just had the pregnancy test taken a couple days ago, and that's how I learned I was pregnant. You're lying, right? There's no way that you could be pregnant with his baby, right? There is absolutely no way on the planet that you would have slept with my husband. Well, if you want proof that he did sleep with me, come take a look at my stomach. You understand that I can just never get myself to give up on things that I want, right? Right after you kicked me out of the dealership, I began to look up events and auto shows around here. You told me he loves his cars a whole bunch, so there was no way he wouldn't be at the shows I found. And when I went to one of them, bingo! I was able to find him that weekend at a car show, and I approached him. Really? He happens to have that really hot-looking sports car, so it wasn't hard for me to find where he was. I called out to him when I saw him get into his car, and he let me come right into the passenger seat with him without hesitation. He took me out of that event, and we went for a long drive together in the night. I don't think my husband would ever let another woman into the passenger seat of that car besides me. Well, it seems your husband was really looking for someone more my style, huh? All I had to do was act like I knew something about cars, and that got his heart to appear right in my grasp. He even said to my face that someone as sexy and knowledgeable about cars like me should be allowed to sit in his speedster. Thank goodness he was so open to me coming into his car like that, because he found out I really was his type of woman. What is going on with this super dramatic story of yours? Are you for sure that guy was my husband? We all know that he was your husband, and he took me into one of the mountains to stargaze on top of his car's hood. That was literally one of the best dates I've ever been on. You're telling me he fell for you so hard that he took you out to stargaze on top of his car? Your husband is already way more into me than he ever was into you. And the fact that he took care of me and my needs on the first night out just shows that. After all, the evidence of it is right in my belly waiting to come out someday. And so with that, I'd like you both to divorce really soon. I'm sure you don't want to make my baby grow up in a household where they will have no father to call their own, right? I seriously cannot get over the likes of you. You really did go to those lengths to try and get a hold of my husband and everything, huh? And you already know that I can never give up on getting what I want, right? I'll do anything and everything to get what I want, right? So you need to do what you've always done and just give up and hand him over to me. I'm already pregnant with your husband's kid before you could even get him to get you pregnant. I'm so sorry for stealing another man from you. That guy isn't even my husband, though. Huh? So you can go ahead and have him. I have no plans of divorcing my husband, so go right ahead and have a great time with that baby of yours. Now, hold on. What are you going on about now? What are you trying to say when you said he's not your husband? There's no way, right? Mitch is your husband, after all. Really? Because that's not my husband's name. Actually, I have zero clue who that is, Nikki. To think that you'd end up getting piped down by a guy that I've never even heard of before and letting him get you pregnant? Just, wow. That really sucks. Huh? My husband's name is Richard, by the way. So who the hell is this Mitch you're talking about? Excuse me, but the car that he was driving happened to be the same car that your husband was driving when he dropped you off at the reunion. I would never mistake the car your husband has for someone else's. I believe you when you say that the car you had ridden in was the car of my husband. But on that day, it seems my husband lent that car to a friend of his to take out for a ride. A friend? He loaned his car to one of his friends? It was one of his old friends from college that just wouldn't stop asking him to lend it to him for a day. So my husband gave in and lent him the car for one day as his friend had asked for and promised. So, with that being said, oh no, the man I called out to and asked to ride with wasn't your husband? He wasn't your husband at all, but rather his friend? That's what it looks like to me. The man that let you ride in the passenger seat of my husband's car just turned out to be his old buddy. Not the man I love with all my heart. What? I started to think that whole story you were telling me was really strange halfway through. Like my husband would never go out to a car show and act like that. I don't think I'd ever be married to a guy like that, so that whole story you told made me laugh. He's not like that? Saying something about you being so well informed on cars and being so sexy that you should ride in his car is never a thing my husband would say to a woman he doesn't know. If anything, my husband is the opposite of that. The only thing that makes him seem cool is the fact that he rides in a car like that. But besides the car, he'd never talk to someone like you have, especially not when he's in his favorite car. And taking you on a ride up the mountain to a stargazing spot just to lay on the hood and have sex is a no-go for him. He isn't even the kind of guy who knows about a spot like that. Well, you don't know about that. Maybe he just never takes you to spots like that. But when it came to a hot piece like me, he was more than excited to take me out there to make out. My husband would never take someone on a mountain for their first date to watch the stars. He cares far more about the car itself and would always take me out to the mountains to run the roads like a rally car. He drove so fast on those crazy roads out there that he made me vomit 3 times before we stopped. Are you serious? I could never see my husband taking someone out to watch stars from a mountain when there are too good of roads there for him to pass up. Now, I'm not going to say much else about this, so go ahead and talk with your Mitch guy about it. Right now, you're pregnant with another man's baby and not my husband's. This has to all be lies, right? I only went out with him because I thought he was your husband. I thought he was your husband, and that's why I let him make a baby in me. I don't need some baby with a man I know nothing about. So you have to have a baby with someone that you want to steal? Well, then that's totally fine. My husband is telling me that Mitch has a wife. What? He has a wife? My husband just told me that when I asked him about it. He said he does think that Mitch has his own wife already. So this should make you happy then, right? You're able to steal that guy from another unlucky or lucky woman, depending on how she views it. He does have a wife. Well, I'm taking him then. Hearing that he still does have another woman makes me feel a lot better again. You really are one of the worst women on this planet, Nikki. Well, I'll do my best to help you get that Mitch guy in any way I can. I'll help you get him and his wife to get a divorce, all so that you can have yourself a husband, okay? Really? I'll hand his wife the video recorder from my husband's car so that she can see he's with you now. That camera should have the both of you going at it on the hood of my husband's car viewed clear as day. And when she sees it, I'm sure she'll want a divorce from Mitch. Huh? There's a camera in the car? Hold on a second. That kind of help is not necessary. If you hand her evidence of him cheating on her, she could get a settlement from us. I'm happy to hear you want to help me get him, but something like that is a problem. Huh? You don't want Mitch's wife getting a settlement from you? You already told me that you wanted my husband from me and that you took all those steps to get pregnant with who you thought was his baby, right? Had you really been with my husband for whatever reason, what makes you think I wouldn't get a settlement from the two of you? You would? But you and I used to be good friends, right? That's the whole reason I wanted your husband in the first place, since I knew you wouldn't ask for money from one of your friends. What? But this guy is someone you don't know, right? And I'm sure his wife doesn't know me in any way, right? Since I'm not her friend by any means, she'll want to get a settlement from me. Are you an idiot? And I mean, seriously, are you supposed to be with your parents right now or something because you're considered on the scale? You should know that even if you were my friend, I'd still ask for a settlement from you for something like that. If you really had slept with my husband and all of that, I would have made sure to get every last cent out of you and then some. What? Is that so? Now I'm going to go ahead and hand this evidence off to her, okay? Listen, why did you do this to me? Mitch's wife really wants to get a settlement from me now because of you. But in return for that, you'll have access to her husband, right? That's great for you. Congratulations on stealing yourself another man. What is there to congratulate about all of this? I seriously don't think that by stealing someone's husband, they'd ask for this kind of money from me. I even carry a baby now, and yet I'm going to be forced to give up all my money to her? Really? She's asking that much from you? I'd say the average amount a wife asks for during times like this is $10,000 or so, right? I understand that she'll probably get a lot from her husband in the divorce, but you ending up with no money after this is a little unbelievable, right? Huh? It's because of your husband that I have no money left. You have no right mentioning something like that after what you both did to me. Come on now, really? Are you going to be this pathetic now? This shouldn't be happening to me. She's asking me to pay her $50,000 for getting in the car with her husband and getting pregnant with his child. I've never even heard of there being a settlement this big outside of court. Well, he had signed a paper with my husband saying that while using his car, nobody else was to ride in it. So really, Mitch did break some rules and was going to piss off my husband a lot, whether he got you pregnant or not. Also, there was the rule about not smoking in the car, which he broke. And at the end of that contract he signed, it stated if any one of the rules was broken, there'd be a fine of $15,000. So now you guys are going to get money from us as well? This is all bullcrap. No, it's not. The real bullcrap here is that even after asking my husband over and over to borrow the car like that, Mitch still broke two of the most important rules and is now going to pay for it. He even told my husband that he only wanted to take the car out for a drive by himself. So that's another problem we can all add to this fire. You both really did it this time, right? My husband even had a look at the tank later and realized you both never filled it up after driving around. That wasn't in the rules, but it's kind of a thing in the car world to do that for others after taking someone's car for the day. It's crazy to think the only reason he wanted the car was to take a girl out for a one-night stand. Watching the video showed us everything. From the car show where he picked you up with that stupid phrase and took off with you, to the both of you stargazing on the hood. How does it feel knowing that that date will cost Mitch $15,000 and then some? This isn't the time for jokes, Josie. Not only am I going to have to pay $50,000 to his wife for cheating with him, but I'll also have to help pay that $15,000? I cannot believe something as stupid as this is happening to me. I'm the victim of a long chain of misunderstandings. Oh, you are? I don't think calling yourself the victim here is going to get you any sympathy. You were the one asking for all this to happen long ago. And after all those warnings telling you to stop asking, you never listened and got your prize. This is what happens when you keep stealing what others have. But I just wanted all those things. I was just so jealous of everything, so envious. I just wanted everything to be in my hands and nobody else's. You're going to become a mother in another few months, so can you please grow up a little? You cannot raise your kid to think that it's okay to steal whatever you want when it's not yours. You are now in the position where you'll be a mother soon, and you have to be responsible for that. You chose to get pregnant in the hopes that you'd be able to get yourself a husband, but there is a price to something like that when the man you made a father is someone else's husband. Huh? Now stop crying about how hard your life is now and get a frickin' grip on it. I get that you will have to lose all your money in a few days, but nobody besides yourself cares about that. Not even me. After that, my husband took the car that both Mitch and Nikki rode in and spent the whole day cleaning everything out, from the seats to the hood. He then took the bill for all those cleaning supplies and added that to the list of things that needed to be paid by those two. Later, the both of them ended up getting married to one another, but only because Nikki was pregnant with his kid. But now they're both living in a really cramped apartment that'll only become more cramped after the kid comes. However, it seems that even after marrying Nikki, Mitch wasn't over his itch to cheat, and one day he left Nikki at the apartment all by herself to meet another woman. And right there, Nikki began to realize what was happening to her husband and started to understand what it felt like having something you want and love be stolen by someone else. She even began to scream profanities about the new woman he was sleeping with, calling her horrible things because she was with him all the time. This also led to her questioning why the other woman would do such a thing when Mitch's wife is pregnant with his baby. And a few days after all those outbursts, she went out to find him and his new woman and started freaking out on the both of them. However, something like this should never be coming out of her mouth, right?